we talked a little bit about how you said FI technically for your cognitive stack. Did you say, how did you describe it? What did you say it was called? I can't remember.
Oh, yeah. I, like the transcendent function. Yeah, there's so many different understandings. A lot of people think the fourth function is the transcendent function, which would be the FE. But then,
Yeah.
as Jung describes it, it's like when you, for me, it's being a TI DOM, like fully embracing the FE would then the complete merging of the two would be the transcendent function. Like, but it's not necessarily like the fourth function being the transcendent function, although some people speak like that. And then combining that with Dave and Shannon, it would be being a TI DOM, going into the FE would almost create an FI, like, and you would be able to get into your eighth function. And that's how I would access FI. And I feel like the way I'm doing that is by listening to music and like going into my FE spectrum, looking at all of humanity and just taking in all the emotions.
So
I'm
what?
noticing it a bit now. Whoa.
Good.
Ooh.
That's what we want to do.
No, it's enough. Go
All right,
away, FE.
come on, you can do it. Well, then for me, would it be SE then? Wouldn't that be
Yeah,
my?
it's like you would get, like in this theory, you would be, as in any DOM, you would get fully into your SI and then you would get into the SE, whatever that is. I mean, for me, the way I conceptualize SE is a lot like present, being fully present in the here and now. And yeah, that's very grounding for me with my SE.
So
And I mean, I've made it my religion now. Like I'm talking like the present moment is the holy thing. And like there's
well,
a few, like, what is it? Yeah, we talked about this before, I think, in a course in miracles, which is kind of Christianity without the God, or like, I don't know if I'm explaining it wrong, but there's this thing called the holy instant. And like there's something about, and now that we see how much it maps, it's like, I feel like it's almost like this is, and I'm so aware of like potentially offending believers, but it's like, okay, this is kind of what I believe on the sensory level, but just putting words to it.
I don't know. I don't think it's wrong necessarily to, I'm going to get flack for this. I don't think it's wrong necessarily to be like, well, here's what I'm saying. Here's what you're saying. It seems the same, because in some ways it is. And I just think that always the Christian is going to say, I'm going to say, Jesus is the difference. The belief is the difference. And I also think being present as well. I just have to tie this back to the Jordan Peterson thing before I lose this thought. Being present for me, not just as an ENFP who has SI at the bottom and then I can access the SE, it maps to this concept that we talked about earlier, which was being aware enough of my surroundings, being attentive to like what's happening now and not being so like all over the place. Then I'll more easily be able to access what God has for me in the moment, like through my kids, through whatever task I'm doing at home, even like being present, like with my husband, if he's, talking to me about something, and like digging deeper with him, digging deeper with anyone around me, like being more aware of that. Yeah, would be very transcendent for me as an NE who's always trying to making connections to everything, and just, it's very hard to be present.